damage early on in that previous game, and that perhaps allowed him to lose a few more adapts later on and just survive a little bit easier because TY had a few less units to work with. We'll see. Proxima is definitely a decent Stargate map, I'd say, and it's a very good medevac map, so I would almost be certain that this man spawning on the right top side of Proxima, was of course Stats, will play with a Stargate. Guaranteed.
His opponents in the south side, it is of course TY. Both players looking to try and secure a first win here in this Group B.
Yeah.
Pretty stacked group, man.
Yeah, very stacked group. One that's
insane.
very hard to predict. Even Beyond said it as well, right? That the foreigners in this group are incredibly strong. I mean, obviously, Neep is our Gaspa Cup champion, and Neep is just incredibly good in so many ways.
Harstein played really good in the bracket earlier.
Yep.
Qualify.
No, Hassam is absolutely one of the best Protosses in Europe. Probably the second best, maybe third best. Obviously, the best Protoss in Europe is still Showtime. We'll see him in action tomorrow for all the German fans out there. You know, I'm also incredibly excited for, Todd?
Who?
Serral.
Yeah. A lot of hype around Serral going into these tournaments. Many have said he may be the best foreigner. Well, maybe on the ladder, but now he has to beat in the tournament, and it's gonna be hard when you have guys like Nurchio, Showtime,
He's gonna
always doing so well.
He's gonna proxy a factory, isn't he, this cheeky boy? You know which build is disgusting, by the way, on this map? Like the absolute grossest build. Reaper, fast expand, proxy starport, liberator range. But obviously Stargate is very popular, and especially for Stats, so maybe then it's not that good. But if Stats would somehow play without a Stargate, that is the grossest build you can imagine. We'll see what TY decides to do with this factory.
Quick Widow might drop, I think.
Yeah.
It comes super fast, and that's what he had success with in game #1, so could be that.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Could be something like Hellions as well.
Or maybe he just scouts and decides anyway,
Yeah.
because that's what this Reaper is
Oh! It's okay, the Reaper is going to be able to kill a lot of workers if he
for. Can he
decides
get
to
a
kill
cancel on that?
Yeah, he should.
Oh, he didn't attack it!
But he's on move command. He wants to pylon rush? Oh my god. He's just going to float the factory into his main, and he's going to... Okay, now he's forcing at least the Robo out.
Stats saw that, right?
What? Yeah, he obviously saw the factory. There's no way you don't see this big...
Yeah, but I mean, like,
build.
did he actually look?
Yeah, it's massive. It's too big to miss, Todd. Like,
You are looking, but do you see?
No. A factory on the minimap is pretty hard to miss, you know, like an SCV or a Reaper, you can miss that, but a factory is pretty fat.
I've seen players miss a hatchery on Saturday base, so...
Did they though?
Alright, well, that reactor is going down. Depot will follow, I'm guessing. And
I mean,
it's
that
great.
It's gonna be late. Look at the way middle mine, Todd. Look at the mine.
The Reaper baited. Oh,
Jan
bro.
Yeah, he can do this multiple times, and this is super annoying because you lose so much mining time. He doesn't want to settle for one. He gets four and a lot of lost mining time. That's big.
Observer being chrono boosted. What is TY getting out of his factory?
A Cyclone.
That's actually really smart. A Widowmine would have been pretty bad, I think.
What about 3 adapts though? Do you think? Well, if the adapts are busy shooting at the mine, okay. Well, the mine is already taken out.
And he's already going away.
Oh my god, Cyclones is so good. But it's 3 adapts. 1 Cyclone against 3 adapts.
Pull back out right after, yeah. Drive it like you stole it. And get out of there, TY.
Does he still have the SCV on the other side of the map? Yes, he does. He's going to repair this Cyclone. Now, there is a Liberator in production. Is that just at home, Todd? Yes.
Yeah, it is. Shouldn't take too long, though, to cross the map. And if Stats is still in massing mode. Actually, this Marine drop is not expected. Why are these Stalkers being warped in right now?
Yep, everything is out of position. A couple of Stalkers are decent, but there is not that much DPS in these 3 Stalkers, and without the Mothership Core, this is going to be rough. But unfortunately for TY, those Marines were bruised. If those Marines were not bruised, that would have been rough for Stats.
And Stats actually panicked like crazy. He pulled probes there for a second.
What did he just cancel? Reactor?
I think so, yeah. Just going to fly that back.
Robo Bay.
Stats going where?
Should go Liberator range right now, Todd. It's the sickest thing in the world.
What is he thinking here with the Robo Bay? Does he just want to go Colossus or disrupt the drop?
I think Colossus. I think he...
I mean, he knows there's going to be a starport pretty quickly. So it's kind of strange. I would have expected a 12 cancel take maybe with like a quicker third, which on this map is still pretty hard. Like the third base position is very, very awkward compared to most maps.
You know, one of the most fun games of the open bracket qualifiers here at the Introductory Masters was, in my opinion, Petit Drogo against Ruyang on this map. I was incredibly impressed with how well Drogo was able to hang in there, for how long Drogo was able to defend against very strong drops. You know, I'm not talking about a single medevac or a double medevac drop, but it's like those triple medevac drops with liberation zone setting up as well, and liberator protection. That kind of stuff is really hard to deal with. While TY is starting to get ready to do some serious economic damage over here with his liberator, and at the same time being very annoying with the Widowmine. Gets the shot off on the Adept as well. Lost mining time. I think this is already going pretty good for TY. Thought 3 stock is enough. 3 stock is enough.
Oh, he's targeting the probes actually. Just lowering the walker count of his opponents. TY on 43 SCVs against 41 probes, looking to try and do some more economic damage, and he started his third base slightly earlier than his opponent as well.
Those pickups are so fast, though. Like, they pick up before a shot of photon overcharge hurts the Marines.
They pick up before a drop off.
How?
And warping.
When I do that, I misclick 4 times and lose 3 Marines in the process. Like, Terran's really hard. I'll go back to Protoss.
These guys are superhumans, man. TY going to a lot of liberators here on this map. You mentioned how good they can be, and on the other side we've got Colossus Tech from Stats, who has yet to really get any upgrades. Might be planning some big attack. Usually when you go for Colossus, it's very tempting to just go for an attack when you have a good amount of them, usually 3 or 4, overweighting for the opponent that could have enough Liberators and Vikings.
But I think on this map, the moment you decide to attack with Colossus, it's instant drops in your main, and there is nothing you can do. Good observer placement there by Stats, so he knows about these medevacs. But the thing is, with players like TY, they're so incredibly good, most of the time they don't just suicide their medevacs. Yeah. They'll look and they're like, oh, okay, I can
You took a big risk here, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Huge double drop into Stalkers.
Yeah. It could have happened, but like I have a lot of faith, you know, like when you talk about the big 4 or the big, you know, the best 6, 7, 8 Terrans in the world, they don't just right-click their medevacs. They're always babysitting them. They're always looking, and they always get value, or they don't commit, and that's what makes them so incredibly good at this game.
Just gonna siege there, I like that. Keeping the Liberator alive. Still posturing forward here with double medevac drop towards the main base. And second starport actually about to finish here for TY. So gonna be a lot of Liberators, maybe a lot of Vikings as well, knowing that it's Colossus Tech now.
If he gets a fusion core, Todd, this game is like as good as over. Without a Stargate, you're not gonna be able to mine from your natural and from your main forever. Like, it's incredibly good. There's so much space. We can maybe take a look as well. It should be similar to the top. Like, there's kind of Liberators, they can set up everywhere if they have Liberator range, and they'll reach your mineral patches, and you need a Stargate to deal with it. It's very painful.
Viking production actually, 4 Vikings at the time, so TY is going to be more than ready for these Colossus.
That's also very good. Maybe you don't need Liberator range. If you can just show up with like 16 Vikings against 3 Colossus, that's also pretty good.
You know what we don't see anymore? Terrans pulling the boys.
I know.
It never ever happens. They're like, I would rather keep my economy and remake an army. I'm going to be able to trade anyway.
I recently watched...
Once upon a time, Terrans used to put it all on the line, Roddy. What happens?
Every now and then there is some crazy Terran who still does it. Recently I was watching one of the Terrans that I enjoy watching, Juggernaut Jason from Canada. He played a game against Protoss. He's like, all right, we're going to do it. We're going to pull the boys. They all died against the depths.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, they didn't add much, but it was fun to see. But yeah, you're right. We don't see it very often. Double Forge being wiped in.
Yeah, so Stats actually willing to slow down here, already having the Colossus tech. Probably realizing that an attack was not likely to work against someone as good as Stats. Stats might be the one on the offensive here, though, in a second. I don't think he has the enough Vikings just yet to attack, but as soon as these next 4 that he's got come out, then he will. And it's actually going to get really dangerous for Stats here in a second, who's got Blink on the way, and now is going into Disruptor production.
Ghost enemy as well is going to make it hard. I mean, TY is gearing up for a terrifying army. The Prism even died there. I have no idea what it died to. I guess the missile turret and the last shot of the Viking. Look at that little guy in the missile turret. How is he not dizzy? How does he still shoot so sharp, Todd, when he keeps on spinning?
He's dedicated to his cause, man. He's like you. Passion overwhelming.
Mr. Bitter would have really appreciated this little segment about the missile turret guy. That's all that Bitter ever.
He always talks about it, doesn't he?
Yep. It's like Tasteless and Little Rich on Bridgehead.
Just like
New Gettysburg.
Oana means family and Hitman.
Since Liberator is still being annoying and TY is starting to move forward, trying to get himself in a very good position near the third base. Observer falls as well. The upgrades are not done yet, by the way, for stats. Those are a lot of very important... That's an interesting liberation zone. I'm gonna siege. I'll free them that entire planet. He's like, hey, beautiful planet you guys got over there. You need some freedom?
Oof, there is a lot here for both players. Whoever does a poor job at engaging might be in trouble, but a lot more capability, I would say, from stats, thanks to these disruptors. Like, I can see this army dying really quick if those hit big time. Dark Shrine actually on the way here from our Protoss player.
Can you though, Todd, when it includes TY?
True.
It's kind of a risky forward blink. One and two Stalkers might get picked off. Disruptor shot will whiff. And the Liberator starts slowly but steady. They're moving forward. They are ready to spread some freedom. They are ready to liberate this Protoss army.
It's so hard to engage into this if your stats here. You're actually going to clean up one of these guys and then blink back. Nice job.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good controls. Definitely very good controls so far. What is there happening on the fourth base? Is that like a little single drop or
a couple of units there? 2-2 on the way here for both players. It's about to actually complete the infantry weapons level 2 here for TY. Maybe that will encourage him to actually attack, but I mean, he can't go up this ramp, right, against disruptors. Everything will get blown up. So he's going to drop in the main.
That's a massive drop, and I'm not sure if any photon overcharge is available, so it's going to pull a lot of these units out of position. The Forges are the real jackpot here, I'd say. He's actually going to use the Liberators as well to keep some of these bio units safe. The Colossus taking a lot of damage of these Vikings, and don't forget about all the other units that are still left behind. Yeah, this is so hard to deal with. Well done by TY. Great execution by this Terran.
Stats could be in big trouble. He's trying to split his army between his main and natural base. Mothership Core died before he could even photon overcharge. And a massive army here of TY. He's gonna barrel down towards this natural base while he's still fighting inside of the main, thanks to the Liberators escorting this bio that he dropped there.
The execution is just sick. The micro is just sick by TY. He's doing everything right. He's losing a single Marine against two disruptive shots. The Colossus all fell. I must say these Adepts are doing a great job though on the ground, and they will clean up the majority of this bio. I think there's War Prism in the back of the natural of TY as well.
He needs to kill a lot right then and now, because Stats, as much as he cleaned up back at home, he lost 11 probes.
Yeah, but Stats is actually doing a sick job. I have no idea how Stats did not die there. I really love the way how TY did everything. Great micro, great position. It's good news here for TY that it's a planetary fortress, because Stats is all over the place, and suddenly thought he has taken a 30 supply lead. That's amazing. I have no idea how he did it. 20 SCVs going down, a lot of SCVs going down. Is Stats going to be able to close out this game? No, right? He doesn't have enough to do that.
I mean, he has quite a bit, actually.
Oh, TY needs to kill that Prism. If he doesn't kill that Prism, that's going to keep on happening.
Stats keeps on warping in units there. It's going to be great for him. The planetary fortress actually attacking two of the Stalkers. Liberators going to get sniped here, at least for one of them.
This Prism is still being left behind.
It's like the best Prism ever, like totally chilling there, ready to warp in units. 27 SEVs have died, and more keep on dying here.
I mean, he still has 44, so it's a decent number, but obviously you don't want to lose that many more. Why did TY not kill the Prism, Todd? Maybe he's flustered. Okay, there he is. He has a double drop here. Maybe he wanted him to warp in some Adepts. He's like, I can take care of it.
Careful what you wish for, because it's total 30 SCVs here that have died.
Army supply, that's gonna be, oh, that's a sweet disruptor hit there, right on top of all those SCVs. 38 SCVs going down right now. No damage at all, nothing happening on the other side of the map other than this one Liberator that's not gonna kill that Stalker.
It's so crazy how on some of these super high level games, Liberators look like the worst unit ever. Like, it literally never attacks, you just go around it.
Yeah. It's never that black and white. Is there any Vikings left? Now 4 Vikings in production. TY obviously having that goal, that helps quite a bit, and he still has plenty of SCVs on gas, so at least he's able to still produce an army. What a great game, Todd. I love it, man. This group is going to be amazing. We're going to get Neep against TY as well. We're going to get Stats against Harsem. It's going to be great. Woo! Net effects. It's really hard to call who's going to win this group. I believed in TY, and I still believe in TY, but the way that Stats defended, there in his main, and oh my god, this is going to be so
TY is very low econ. I like the choice of going for a Templar Archive, because if he gets a bunch of Archons, this could be really good here for Stats. Making them with DTs is very expensive.
Can he clean this up though? Good focus fire on a couple of these disruptors.
These were the worst disruptor shots ever. Like, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, because they died, because good snipes by TY. It's gonna blink forward. I'm not sure if the Stats has enough anti-air here, Todd. A couple of Stalkers just died.
You re-wap's in a couple of Stalkers, but there's still so many Liberators here left over. TY making it happen right now in the main base of Stats.
What a sick game. At the same time, he's sending units towards that fort, and I really don't think that Stats left a whole lot of units behind. The Demolition Core will get picked off. He's warping in more DTs. Maybe there is no more energy for scans. There is one more scan available. And I think Stats is also harassing in the main base of TY, if I've seen that correctly. This is a sick game, Todd.
That's not the same Prism as before, is it?
No, that Prism died. Oh!
And he survives. 2 Colossi in production here. And the Viking count, I think, has been reduced a little bit. What's the Viking count right now?
Like 7 or 8?
Ooh, 7 Vikings against soon to be 4 Colossi. This could be good for Stats, who's got a big supply lead here right now.
High Templars. I don't think he has Storm, is that correct?
Yeah, I think he's just for Archons. Like I said, in a low econ game where there is no ghosts, these are like absolutely insane. I mean, as much as you maybe prefer to have Storm, Archons are still pretty darn good in this situation.
Yep. Especially when the army supplies go smaller and smaller. Like I love Archons when Terran doesn't have enough to just one-shot my Archons at once. This is still anybody's game. Storm is on the way though. +3 starting now for TY as well. Stats is still on 2-2, is that correct? 2-2 upgrades?
Yeah, both players.
Man, what a game, Todd. And then
actually starts +3.
It's gonna be, I mean, it's very important that Stats keeps track of this army of TY.
Guardian Shield used preemptively here, maybe to try and discourage TY from attacking into this.
Todd.
He's gonna do the same thing as he's been doing here. Siege up those Liberators, drop in the main, keep the Vikings there, ready to fight against the Colossi if need be.
Sees the Templar Archives and he's like, that looks kind of juicy, but at the same time doesn't want to overcommit. Stats gonna kill his own Cybernetics Core because he wants to save his Templar Archives.
Doesn't that mean Stalkers actually against quite a few Liberators? He might have to remake that.
Oh my god.
Storm gets denied here from TY, who's looking to try and win that big fight here inside of the main of Stats.
Morph into Archons right now, like these high damage. You can feedback and then morph into Archons perhaps.
Yeah, there's not much to feedback actually.
That was an interesting decision to kill your own Cybernetics Core.
And then some units actually headed towards the 4th base here at the bottom of Stats.
Oh, DT Meat Grinder, that's amazing. Gets a couple of sweet hits off. In the end, the scan will clean up the majority of it, but that looked awesome. If only he got the surround, Todd.
It's almost as if he knew. He's like, he's probably going to attack there. Let me set up. Let me receive him as I should.
Okay, but the bad thing for Stats is that he lost a lot of his expensive tech buildings. Both robotics facilities went down.
He had to kill his own cyber core.
Now the robo base going down as well. Does he have enough stalkers this time?
Is he getting blinked for DTs?
Yep. Why not?
Well, I guess he could have blinked out here now that when that got scanned, but Stats is going to engage into this army. Liberators on siege. You can't live actually against this. There is so many stalkers. Very few units get picked up and evacuated. And Stats takes a huge supply lead.
Yeah, but at the same time, he has to rebuild all those super expensive buildings. He lost 2 robos, lost Templar Archives, lost a whole bunch of gateways, lost the Nexus, which doesn't matter that much because it's mined out anyway, but it's a little bit of Chronobus, so he's morphing 3 Archons now at once.
TY is playing musical command centers, flying them around, taking new bases with his previous ones.
Gotta love Blink on the Dark Templars. For everybody who's been away from StarCraft for a while, yes, Dark Templars can blink if you research the upgrade. The upgrade takes quite a while, but it's a great upgrade. Wow, that's hurt actually so much if you're a Terran. You just drop 4 mules and then you have
especially
to...
like TY is broke in comparison. He's got way less walkers. His income has been pretty bad. He needs to catch up in supply. That's not going to happen anytime soon. He needs to win a fight somehow against this army without ghosts.
Against the old Liberators, Todd, I really think that this game would have been super over. A couple of times I think those contains would have been too strong. Right now, it suddenly looks like Stats in a pretty sweet position as just TY has not been able to do the economic damage that he was looking for.
Stats has not been making too many warpisms again here. Like when you attack like this, you always need to have 1. So he uses those to harass earlier, but now if he had a War Prism right now, he might actually just be able to go for it and finish it right away. Might still be able to do it regardless.
Good feedback.
Oh, wow.
On one of those goals. Not too many goals remaining. That's going to make it really hard to deal with these Archons, like we mentioned before. The army supplies are not big. 10 seconds away from Psy Storm, Todd.
How many Colossi are there right now?
3, I thought.
Yeah, don't you feel like he should win easily if he just A moves, but like we can see that as observers, whereas Stats, for him to realize he's taking a little bit longer because he doesn't see everything.
Without a Prism, I think it's always hard. He's still kind of doing it. Those EMPs were good though, with a couple of massive storms going down. I like the way that TY fought this battle, but I'm not sure if he has enough thought. I think it's a numbers game, and I think the army of stats is just a little too big with another storm raining down on this Terran army. A couple of adepts ravaging the last SCVs. What an amazing game by both players, but especially by stats, by somehow not dying, surviving, and in the